on my page so that people can watch.
Everybody can see it.
And then they'll come back to this live after they watch the show and be like, okay, so now
So we knew what he was trying to say.
I know what he was saying. So was there anything else in the context of the show that you wanted to address tonight before I start my question?
No, I think the show was amazing. It was my first time actually. That would be my first time actually being on national TV. So it was fun, exciting, and nerve-wracking at the same time. But I loved it. That was the only problem I had.
Okay. Okay. So I was having a conversation with Jaylan behind the scenes. And one of my questions for him is, because I know that there are other people that may have encountered this situation. Jaylan is in a relationship with Falynn. We all know the storyline. Falynn was married to Simon, and I guess their marriage ended, and she moved forward in a relationship with Jaylan. And I asked him, what was his mindset, or, what was he thinking when he made the decision to get involved in a relationship with Falynn, knowing that she was married. So I'm gonna direct the question to you in front of our audience. What were you thinking when you made the decision to get involved in a relationship with a woman who was married? Like, what was your mindset? Talk about what your thought process was. Like,
it was more of, it just happened naturally. It wasn't like intentionally, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go take his wife. It was none of that. It was just, like I told you earlier, women mentally check out before it actually comes to an end.
That's true.
So she would tell me all like the stuff that was happening, what was going on, and I was there firsthand, so I seen it for myself. There would be times where we would be out, me, that person, or her ex-husband, and Falynn would be all in the club, and he would leave and be like, watch out for her, I'm about to leave and go home, or wherever he was going. So it's like, to be honest, even though nothing was happening, it was like you literally you're like handing me to her to protect her. So it's naturally going to happen. I was her best friend before anything. So everything was natural. It wasn't no intentions or anything.
So I gotta, because I gotta paint the picture, because you said a lot. You said you guys would go out, you see me firsthand, and it would be the going out. And if you guys were going out, you were going out as the best friend. Is that right?
Right, correct.
Observe the mistreatment, but at the time, there was no relationship, there was no romantic involvement.
Right.
The two of you.
Right.
So at what point did you recognize that you had these feelings? And how did you communicate that?
I think it was never communicated. It was just, she was going through a breakup, and I think me, her friend, and her other assistant, because I was her executive assistant for Falynn Guoabadia LLC, just in general for television. She had a home assistant. So we all were out in Mexico, I believe, having fun, and you just start to realize, like, you're having fun. Now she's not dealing with her situation no more. He's been gone for months already. He's been gone for 2 or 3 months. So he's just out there having fun, drinking. For my first time to Cancun, Mexico, so I'm just having fun, getting lit. And, one thing led to another, and it was just, hey, this is my best friend. Why? Like, what would be the issue?
So you saw the marriage unravel. So you already knew the state. I
already mentally knew. I saw it myself. I already knew where it was. He wasn't going home. He wasn't doing any of that.
Mm-hmm. So it didn't bother you. It didn't have an effect. Because this is what I want to say to the people, because I know there are a lot of people who may find themselves in these types of situations where you may be in a relationship that may be over emotionally and mentally, but you may still be present in that relationship. They have this saying that the way you find them is the way you're going to lose them. So, there's a stigma attached to getting involved with someone who's already in a relationship, but this is a real thing and it happens.
Right.
A lot of things that go on behind the scenes that don't necessarily
Correct.
know about.
Right. So when they say how you get them is how you lose them, I don't believe that.
Okay.
Because you don't know how I got them. You don't know how I got them. You don't know what situation they was going through or who they were going with. Like you don't know. So you can't say I'm going to lose her because supposedly she was cheating on him, but you don't know what he was doing.
Right. Well,
not saying that he was, and not saying she was cheating.
Right.
Because to be honest, somebody got married, got engaged before we got engaged.
Exactly.
So, if you want to do the math, really ain't mathing. It's not mathing. I've been trying to figure it out for the past year and a half now. It's not mathing. So
it's not adding up at all.
It's not adding up at all.
Right.
But the only thing is that person knew how to maneuver and keep themselves in the background. Because out of everybody in the world, you chose that person. Out of everybody.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
Right. So let me ask you, at what point did you guys decide you were going to pursue a relationship? Had she already exited the marriage physically? Even though I know that it had
physically she's already left. She already had her own townhouse. To be honest, I was locked up for 30 days prior to everything coming out.
Really?
Yeah, I was locked up for a DUI that I got in 2018 when I was at a younger age. You know, the pandemic started, so court dates kept getting pushed back. So I was locked up. I wasn't around for all that.
Okay.
So by the time I got out, you know, she's talking to me. She's putting money in my books like what a friend does. She's still telling me about what's going on, and I get out, and when she told me on the phone that he gave me 30 days to leave.
Oh wow.
So when I got out, it was just being there, being her friend, helping out with the kids. Like she was putting herself in a room, and I would take care of the kids, take them out, do her own stuff. And, you know, you start to realize like, you know, this person has been there for me through my ups and the downs, like no matter what. And now I'm not with somebody that has money anymore. My friend is still here, like so. You can see it's more than what it is.
Right. So she recognized the authenticity of friendship, right? And you was there all along. Maybe she didn't recognize it right off. Maybe you guys didn't entertain the idea of being in a
we never did because at that time I didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. So I wasn't, giving her I wasn't advising her or motivating her. So I didn't know. So it was just my friend. We go to the club. I hang out with the kids, hang out with the family, and that was it. I would go home.
So let me ask you this. You said something that stuck out to me. At any point prior to you guys making a decision to move forward into your own relationship, did you ever speak negatively or try to sway her to not be in that relationship anymore?
Never. I don't pillow talk.
Okay.
It's not me. I don't need to pillow talk.
Right.
I mean, it was right there. It's just the thing is with her when she was with that person, she was young. Mm-hmm. As she got older and got into fame and, she had to start sticking up for herself, she started opening up her own eyes. Like, she started growing. And that's why, that's part of the reason why the relationship is going downhill, because she was having her own voice and speaking up for herself.
Outgrowing the relationship. Sounds like she went in there very young, so he was able to control the dynamic because he's older.
Right.
He was outgrowing and evolving. Then it became somewhat either intolerable or they grew apart.
Right. They just grew apart.
Herself. Right. So let me ask you, how long were you guys friends though? Were you guys friends before the marriage? How long had you?
About a year. Almost a year and a half. About a year, a couple of months. But we were friends for a long time. I used to do stuff with Simon all the time. Like when it came to, I didn't mean to say his name. I mean, do stuff for her ex-husband all the time.
They know this ain't so you can say what you want to say on here. This is
okay. I didn't know. I really didn't want to.
That's fine. You ain't gonna get sued.
But we used to do things on a daily basis. But it's not. But my thing is, that person, her ex-husband, used to try to make her not be friends with me. See, my thing is, people would think like at the beginning, everybody thought I was gay. Because my thing is, I grew up in a house full of women. So I'm very attentive to women. Like, I make sure they have everything. Make sure you saw it firsthand. Like, that's just how I am. And Falynn knows that. That's why she doesn't get mad. That's just how I am. I was raised by my single mother and my sister. That was it.
Mm-hmm. So, and my mom told me how you were attentive to her when we went to the after party.
That's how I am. This is naturally how I am. So, I guess he hated that because I was so attentive to her. Mm-hmm. But I still hung out with him. Like, there was times where she would go out, me and him would go to Atlanta or something. Even though we didn't have anything really in common, because he was much older. He's way older than me.
So how did you come into the dynamic? That's what I want, because I want to address these pool boy rumors that you was not the pool boy.
Yeah,
like, how did
never
you
clean a pool a day in my life.
How did you meet them? How did this whole friendship begin?
So friendship began because I used to promote in Atlanta. So Simon and my boy, he's a promoter here too, but he's a big promoter. He's way bigger in Atlanta. So they would go out and he would make sure that Falynn and her ex-husband was good. And I used to work with him hand in hand. So, you know, me being attentive, making sure they got the hookah, the bottle, and everything. It was one time where Falynn and her ex-husband was out and they wanted somewhere to go, and I told them to come to TNG. And then, this is a funny story. They came to TNG, I walked them from the door, brought them inside, set them in the section, and some lady behind me was pushing me like, move out my way, move out my way. And Falynn got up like, don't you push her, being a friend. So after that, we realized like our bond was like this. And there was a time where we were at Buckhead Saloon, which is like you live there, so on RHOA Road.
Though you gotta take me out now. I'm accountable for that, but go ahead.
I got you. But it was one place where in Buckhead Saloon where guys were throwing napkins. They throw napkins in the air, but they were being disrespectful, throwing napkins at her face, trying to get her attention. And Simon's right here. Simon is not going to do it. Her ex-husband is not going to do anything. He's not going to risk his money.
Right. So, protect his own life.
Falynn got jumped by 9 girls, and her ex-husband was there. But we ain't going to speak about that.
What?
Yeah, we're not going to speak about that. A lot of people know about that, too. It was in Atlanta. But guys were throwing napkins at her face, and it's hitting her. And she's like, Falynn doesn't like to argue, so she's just like laughing, whatever, pushing on her face. And then they did 2 more times, like, all right, nigga, you need to fucking stop. I got on the table, and I got kicked out, because, Atlanta is my city, so everybody know me. They know I don't go around starting trouble, so they kicked him out. That was one time I protected her, then she protected me back. So it was just like, we built that relationship, and she invited me to the Super Bowl party at the house. And we were just drinking, having fun. And that's how our relationship started, to where we started hanging out more and more and more. And then we would go to Miami. We all go to Miami. Falynn, her ex-husband, would go to Miami. And this was during the pandemic. This is like right at the end of the pandemic, where she was forcing me to work as her executive assistant. And I didn't want to, because I'm like, we're going to argue and our friendship is going to be gone. I'll never forget it, because she kept coming into the room, because they had a condo. So it was like a 4-bedroom condo. She kept coming to the room. She kept offering me, how about if I gave you such salad? I said, no. She come back, salad, another salad. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll do it. And that's how we became closer, because I was right-hand man to her photo shoots and all that. That's what she was doing, filming for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
So essentially what I hear you saying, because, people have a lot of opinions on social media, because they can't address.
Right.
You can genuinely find yourself in a relationship, a solicited relationship, and be in another relationship, partially because it already checked out mentally, emotionally. I mean, she was still married, what the documents said, but for all practical purposes, he pretty much just left the door open. But that was never even your intention, though.
Yeah.
Right? You develop a friendship that turned into a relationship. It was authentic and organic, is what it sounds like. and got to a point where you couldn't deny it anymore. And so you guys made a decision to pursue that. So, I mean, it happens. It happens.
It's life. It's life.
It's life. It happens. Unfortunately, that's how some relationships began. But it seems like, I don't know if I'm out of pocket for asking these questions, because I want to know, as old as he is, why was he hanging out with all these young folks? Like, he had friends, like, he seemed a bit mature. You guys seem like the mature ones.
Yeah, he likes to keep up. He wants to make himself feel young. He wants to keep up with the trend.
Okay.
So that's what we kept him up, kept him up on style and all that. Well, Falynn did most of that, but keep him going to the clubs and everything, keep him going.
Okay.
That's why.
You know how crazy that sounds, right? I just want you to
listen. I was living it. You hear it? I was living it. That face you said, okay. I was okay. You want to go to the club? Okay, you can do that.
Literally marry someone to keep up with the trend, or not to feel old, or to not to feel like he was aging.
No, I won't say that he did that to get with her. At the beginning, I'm pretty sure it was all love and everything. Like, she's a caring woman, so I'm pretty sure he fell in love with that. But like I told you, she started outgrowing him. She started having her own voice. She was doing her own thing.
So for the audience that is joining us, this is my first after show. I usually do pre-interviews, and I actually got an invite for someone to join the live. I've never done it. So I'm going to ask Jaylan, what do you think about allowing someone to join the conversation and ask their question? It's up to you, because I ain't never done this, but I see the little indicator here, because I'm freestyling.
Now, you go ahead. You go ahead and start accepting. I'm gonna take my shot real quick.
Okay, don't go. I'm gonna accept it, and so guys, I will, because this is an extension of my show, and on my show I do have audience engagement. However, whatever it is that you want to share, ask, say, it has to be respectful. If not, then I'm gonna disconnect it. It's just that simple. All right, so let's see what she has to say. Let's see. Well, maybe not. I tried to accept it. Oh, she did. Okay, so maybe she don't want to come. Just me, Courtney. I was gonna let you have your. So, guys, this is something new. If there's someone on here who wants to make a statement, ask a question, maybe something that you've never gotten clarified, and you take in Jaylan and Falynn's story, by all means, send me an invite. I'll bring you on, and you can ask your question or statement. Because this is Jaylan's, like, the show that we just filmed, his first time speaking out on a national platform, first time, because I mean, he's had to sit through other people's opinions of him on social media, which I experienced at my last show, and it was not pretty. So I can understand the level of frustration that you may have gone through because you weren't able to address.
Right.
So let me ask you.
And this is like, it's been a year now. Well, yeah, it's been almost a year now. So I'm just actually now starting to speak out.
So is there something that you have read, or, someone may have sent a comment that you wanted to just have your moment where you wanted to respond? Is there something that just rubbed you the wrong way completely?
No, there's nothing. At this point, I've already grew from it. So it's like, it doesn't bother me anymore. Like,
but what did you grow from?
The name calling, not being able to tell my side of the story, because that person was somebody bigger, so they believed whatever was going on that side. So it's just, I just grew from not entertaining, because fans are going to listen to whatever they hear.
Let me ask, because I mean, I was one who watched some of this stuff unveil on social media, because when this man went public with this woman, right, and then it came back that she was pregnant. How did that whole scenario unveil? Because they were saying that he was saying that she wasn't being honest about being pregnant, but then now when I'm listening to you, it sounds like the relationship or marriage was already over. And so it made it look like she was honest and hid it, and then boom, it hit social media, oh, she's pregnant. So
what happened was,
Clear that up.
I ain't gonna say too much because I'm gonna have to read Fallon's book for that.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you a short rundown. What happened was Simon came out with the whole thing with Porsha and their whole situation, and then he told Fallon's ex-best friend that if she were to come out with something, he was going to drop a video of me walking through the backyard, which I go through that door every time. The garage is connected right there, so I just walk that way.
So he's trying to make like y'all was sneaking behind the back, but hell, he had y'all going out, going to Miami,
right,
going out of the country. This was a normal thing.
Yes, this is
so
a normal thing.
Doing it behind his back. So go ahead.
Right, so her ex-husband texts her friend. I saw your message here. I understand. I'm trying not to. It's just her ex-husband texts one of her friends and said if she comes out if she speaks upon or something about this relationship with me and such, that I'm going to leak a video that she doesn't know about, something like that. Still, we didn't even say that. We didn't even acknowledge it at first. And then he dropped it. He dropped the footage, and then he was like, who is actually pregnant with my wife or something like that. It was funny because he said my wife, but you're engaged to another woman at the same time. It don't make sense to me, but it's okay.
So have they run into each other in the street since all of this came out? I'm just curious. Like, have you guys run into them at all since all of this?
Yeah.
How is that? What does that look like?
See, my thing is, me and Fallon, it's a dead situation. You happy, we're happy. There's nothing to sit here and argue about. Like, it's no problem. It is what it is. We got something good out of it. We got our beautiful daughter.
Right.
So we're happy, and she's been trying to have a girl for the longest. So we got there's no beef between us. We see them. They're not there. We don't see them. We see them, but we don't see them.
Okay.
We just show them some young love. That's it.
Okay. All right, guys. So there you have it. You got Bruce. You got his side. He hadn't been able to speak.
Right.
Is there anyone on here that has comments or statements, something that you want to share, or you didn't get a question answered? I'm looking through here to see if I see any comments. Okay, so I'm just going to read the comments. It says that she may have been pregnant before the announcement, but Simon and Porsha was knocking boots or together the September after the reunion, and definitely in February when Simon left, so it was fair game. There it is. It's fabulous. She put it down. She pretty much, she said, like, why do Pinners have to explain themselves? Why doesn't anyone grill Simon and Porsha? I agree with you. Kiki, Fit and Fabulous. It just so happens that Falynn and Jaylan was on my show, so I gave Jaylan the platform to
I appreciate that. I like
address, whatever he wanted to address, because we had a lot going on that day.
That day we did.
It's going on.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. So I wanted
We had to go drink after that one.
I know. Look, and I don't even drink, but we just wanted to really focus on addressing some of the things that he didn't get to address the night we filmed the show. Beauty5977 said, no need to explain. You got the prize possession. There it is.
Ching-ching.
Ching-ching. And then I'm just looking through. And then what? Sister Vibe, what is it, Vibe 100? I don't know about this woman. She do not like Mel for whatever it is. Mind your business, man. Okay, so Sister Vibe. See, this is not my show. Not my national television show on Foxhole. This is my platform. Let's be clear. First of all, I don't know Mel. I don't know Martell. I could care less about Mel and Martell. Martell was on my show because the premise of my show is to understand the male perspective. So you may want to do research about my show. This is not Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is Cheministry, a relationship platform. I could give a damn about a Mel or Martell. I just wanted to understand why Martell made the decisions that he made. I invited Martell on my show, so that's just like inviting somebody in your house. You're not going to be rude to somebody when you invite them in your house, right? I was there to understand why he did what he did. So no, I'm not going to bash him. I'm not going to judge him because that's not my place. He cheated on his wife. That's his business. I had a purpose of why I invited him, and I fulfilled that purpose. So if you could go somewhere else with that, you got the right. I got time tonight. You said, no, I ain't being censored. I got time tonight.
Right.
I got time, because let me tell you something. Hey, Falynn, she on here. She laughing. This woman said she got to be about 65 years old. If I'm 65, baby, you 70. If I'm 65, you 70. Okay? So then somebody say, hey, Jaylan, how's Emma? So someone asked about the baby.
Baby girl.
He Fit and Fabulous said, hey, Falynn, I miss your lives. Your lives. Okay, so you guys did live. Okay. And then, so Miss Silklock said, still trying to be relevant. It's ridiculous to watch. I'm not.
No, she's not talking about us. She's talking about the other couple.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's a peanut crew. She's peanut crew.
Right. Somebody else said house and yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like, don't mention names, Jaylan. Okay. And then why are y'all talking about Porsha? This is old news. Well, he was on my show a week ago, so it's new news to us. That's the thing. People get the shows confused, right? So I would suggest y'all, whenever you guys are watching a new show, you may want to understand the premise of that show. While we may have personalities from a different show, they're still on this show.
Right.
And this was created so we can understand the male perspective, which is why we have Jaylan on tonight. Because we want
to about it.
What
this is my first time being able to say my side of the story of what I heard.
I want to hear Jaylan's side of the story. So whether Jaylan was right, wrong, or indifferent, y'all, it's not really my place to judge one way or the other.
Right.
I just want those questions out that most people may have had but never had that chance to ask. So that's my place in all of this. So let's see. Because I'm telling you, honey, if you go back and read them comments,
everybody gotta say, you gotta stay out them comments. I told you.
Look, I learned. You know what I did? So let me tell you about the comments. I see where, because I had another guest on my show. I won't mention any names just because she's not here, and out of respect for her. But I did see comments on her page, and I said, "Wow, they come for these people like they vultures, right? They know these people, but they got so much to say." So this is what I did for me, because this is new for me, the national platform. I've been on this show for 7 years, but I haven't been for 7 years. I've only been on TV for a couple months. Right. And what I conditioned myself to do was not only did I not read the comments, but I let them go. Like, some people will cut the comments off. I'm not turning the comments off.
I don't turn it off. I keep it. See, my thing is, I learned, it's like sometimes you can check them, but once you check them, they be like, that's not what I was trying to say, whatever.
It's like, because when you check, you like, what are we talking about? Because the moment that I close my show out, I go back to my real life, which is not on that stage. That's not my life. You know what I'm saying? That's my show. That's not reality for me.
Right.
So I don't care. But I wanted to condition myself to be able to handle that and develop the tough skin, because they were really hard on me with that Mel and Martell whole situation.
Right.
And then another thing that I want to mention, because this is my platform and I can speak how I want, is that on my show, just like a lot of you guys know Jaylan and Falynn's story because you watched the other show, so you're familiar with the storyline. But for those who are watching this show, I'm going to start at the top as if you never watched it, because this is this show. So I may have viewers, they may not have watched their show. So, and they don't have to watch their show to be able to give their opinion or their feedback on what happened. But it's my job as the creator. I'm the creator of the ministry. I'm the executive producer of Cheministry, and I'm also the host of Cheministry. Somebody also said, "Why is she the host? Why don't she host?" No, I own 100% of this show. So it's my job to ask those questions to develop our narrative, our storyline, and then we'll decide where we'll go in that, right? So you don't have to go and watch his show. He should be able to speak and give us enough insight where you can still understand what happened without having to go back and watch that, right? Which is why I brief you. They brief you. The producers brief you because I advise them to do this. There's no need to say, "Oh, I didn't watch the show." You don't have to say that because we're going to talk about it enough to where you understand what happened. You may not have ever watched the show.
Right.
Because that's the whole point of having this show, right?
Right.
We're just going to pull out the pieces that are important to this show.
Right.
So, let's see. Do you think, okay, somebody said, do you think Simon is still on her?
No, without a doubt.
Do he ever try to reach out? I'm being messy now. Do he ever reach out?
Nah, he hasn't.
Okay.
That I've seen or what we've seen. So.
Yeah. We don't know, but he's not gonna be able to answer the question he really loves. So who knows?
Which one?
Somebody says, "Do I have the ministry sign?" No, what you see is Cheministry. So it's chemistry. You know how you have chemistry in a relationship, but it's a play on words. Cheministry meaning meeting the needs of the people. So we have transparent, candid conversations on my show, and we provide practical principles on how to work through whatever topic we decide we want to discuss, which is why we invite an expert. I'm not the expert. I'm the conversationalist. I could ask you a million questions. I have a whole undergrad degree in social work, so I know how to ask a question in a million different types of ways. But I invite the expert to kind of layer our conversation with practical principles so they can at least leave with something that they can apply to their own lives. Right. So that's the point of my show. And I appreciate you guys asking that because she may not have asked it in spirit, but I want to add, I don't know, maybe she did because maybe she did, I don't know. But anyway, it's important that you understand the premise of this show, right? Because this is that other show. So let's see. They won't answer any questions. How many years has it been? I don't know. I don't understand how many years. Jaylan, it's the past. You guys live together and have a great family. So let's just move in now and forget the other. And I think you guys are doing a great job. I think, but sometimes for someone like Jaylan, who you guys see how nasty media can be, it's important that he gets to speak too. Right? That's important that he gets to speak out.
It hurt me more because, her ex-husband and Falynn, they were on the show, so people were going to listen to their story. But me coming from the outside in, just nobody, they didn't care to hear what I had to say.
What you say?
Being a nobody. I was a nobody. I was a nobody to reality TV. I'm somebody out here.
Yeah.
Like nobody from reality TV. That was nobody to them. So.
But look, the moment they didn't know, you was somebody because they were talking about you.
Right.
You was.
I tell you, I can remember exactly what I was doing that day where it started.
Yeah, you was definitely somebody. Somebody want to know when Falynn's book is coming out.
August 30th, 29th.
August 30th. Okay, so that's not coming.
No, August 29th. August 29th.
That's my air date. Okay.
Oh, so look.
Are you? Oh, she put August 30th. Falynn put August 30th.
I don't know. One of them days.
Well, we got it. August 30th, y'all.
August 30th. Go by her date.
Are you guys is she gonna do a book signing, Falynn? If you're on here, let us know.
Yes. She's definitely doing a book signing. She's definitely gonna be doing one. Here in Atlanta, Miami, and a couple other places. I think.
Okay, I'm here for no matter what, bro. Love you, bro. Okay. Yes. Okay. But we had a comment. He spoke the truth and I'm glad because he portrayed to be such a villain by this man, but I'm glad he is happy now. So that's good. See? So cool. You both had the right assignment. I really respect both of you so much, and thank you very much for allowing him to have this platform. Oh, you're very much welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I love Jaylan. Such a cute couple. Absolutely. But you got the blue check, and he don't. So they say,
if you want to be friends, you know, I can make it happen. But, you know, hey, Arena, you better tell them about me.
they were saying, I guess they're saying that Simon don't have the blue check.
Yeah.
I mean, do he want the blue check?
Yeah, he do.
He do.
He just don't know how to do it. You know I know how to do it.
He need to come see you about that. Somebody said, hey, very humble couple. Absolutely. Jaylan is phenomenal, guys. Very, very mature for his age. Absolutely.
Yeah, it took some life lessons to get here, because prior to being with Falynn, I was 19 years old, and I was a stepfather at that time with somebody that was 25, 26. Before
so you like older women.
Oh yeah, I always like older women.
Okay.
I think when I'm talking to women my age, I'm like, your head just messed up. I can't talk to you. I can't hold a conversation with you.
Yeah. Somebody said, do for a living. I don't understand that.
Who do for a living?
I don't. It's I know what you do for a living.
Oh shit.
Look, Jamie, his adopted son. They adopted you.
Yeah, after that, you really connected people together that day. Like some relationship, you definitely connected a lot of people. That was like it. Definitely Jamie and Rena.
Yeah.
I love them.
Well, guys, here you have it. Jaylan, he set the record straight. Anybody else have any questions or comments before we close it out? We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes left, y'all. Ask some questions. Y'all can hit the question chat at the bottom.
Yeah, they can either do the question, or if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. Look, for those of you, you know, we got some, like I say, they be behind these screens typing. This is an opportunity. Come go live.
I call them people, the ones that talk the mess. I say they just live by themselves. They be on the flow. They ain't got nothing else to do but sit there and talk shit.
Yeah, but I'm like, but why? Because there's so much more that goes on in a particular story than what meets the eye, right? So, I mean, I understand watching entertainment. I watch it. I get it. But to have such strong opinions outside of that is
They just said, play the game. Good.
Right.
I don't let them get to me like that anymore. I used to. It used to hurt me.
That last show, we haven't aired the new show, so that's still to come. I think it'll probably go over a little bit better than the last one. The last one was rough for me because I was like, wow, these people, they serious. It's like a cult like following.
Right.
It was different, and it was just different, and then it was the opinions and the perspectives. It was just mind blowing that people thought like this and had the nerve to say it. It's just weird to me.
See, I learned with my friend, I don't know, Bobby Lights from Living Hip Hop Miami. He told me and Falynn. He said, you gotta have people you gonna have people that hate you, people that love you. It has to even out, because everybody that love you, it's just, okay, whatever. You gotta have people that hate you to keep you going. Like, that's how it goes. Like, that's how the game goes. Somewhat, whatever, cool. And then even one of our friends from the Housewives, they just said, play the game.
That's what it gotta be. I think for me, like, one of the things, like you notice on the show, when I introed the show, I emphasize why, me wanting to understand the male perspective, because I do want to say live so that, if somebody watching, they can understand better. So as a woman, if you were to get me one-on-one and ask on these particular situations, my opinion is probably gonna sound like everybody else.
Right.
A woman.
Right.
But doing this show, it's gonna sound completely different, because there's a premise for the show. There's a premise. There's a reason why I'm here. Right. The reason why I'm here, the reason why I created the platform, this platform has purpose. It's to give space, because as women, a lot of times when we're in these relationships, when the relationships are coming to an end, we really don't get closure. Maybe because we got ghosted. Maybe because whatever caused the relationship to come to an end, the situation was so volatile, you didn't have an opportunity to have a conversation about what went wrong. So what my position is to ask those questions that we as women typically don't get to ask. Maybe we don't understand. Maybe we made a mistake in a relationship, or we don't understand why a person mishandled us or mistreated us. So it's not my job to beat up the man because of whatever happened that we know, but it's my job to ask those difficult questions that we typically as women don't get to ask.
Right, and that's why you told me your show is more. It's not just. It's more for men. Your show is more for men to
Right.
get that why. Why
I'm
did this?
my person.
What
I'm
were you
asking my
thinking?
own.
Why?
That. Why did you make that decision? Why did that happen? It's not to say, well, oh, you wrong. No, you may have a reason as to why that we don't know. And then we as women, we always complain that our relationships are not working. Well, this is an opportunity to find out why.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
the male perspective, and they're going to tell us, and we're not going to beat them up. We're not going to judge. We're going to allow them to speak freely.
Right. Because there's a lot of shows for women that sell their side of the story of what happened. But
right.
Come and ask the men what happened. What's your side?
Never ask the men what happened. I'm a woman, so I already know my side. I want to ask the man side.
Right.
And I'm not doing all this work to find out what I already know.
Right.
I have a television show to know how the woman feels when a relationship is coming to an end.
Right.
So I can understand the men, why they made the decisions that they made. So maybe help you guys understand why this show is in existence, right? What separates this show from any other show is that, yes, I'm a woman, but I want to understand the men. And right? Okay, so then people will have comments filled with negativity because they are empty of empathy. Absolutely. You know, until they find themselves in that situation, you can't empathize, you have no compassion. Never can understand that, because you will see a relationship downfall on social media, and everybody got so much, but you knew, you saw it coming, got all these negative things, but then these people are in these situations in real life, right? They have no when somebody else go through it. I never understand that.
Right.
That's weird to me. Because we all.
It's just because it satisfies them. They want to make everybody else feel miserable with them. So if they're hurt, they're going to try to make us hurt because they're hurt. They want to take the anger out on us, but we ain't got nothing to do with it. We're just giving out some reality TV to make you feel better. But now you coming to destroy us, like, you know, it just don't make sense.
Right. So, you need to definitely be more empathetic to other people. Be nice. You know?
I'm very, everybody should be in, I can't say that word, it's a tongue twister. Empathetic to everybody, but some people are just miserable. Like, they don't have nothing else but to do to be miserable.
Right.
They don't have a job, no car, no bed. They can be a homeless person sitting there on live just talking stuff. That's what makes them happy. To make everybody else miserable, make them hurt. And then what? How would you feel if you're the last person that talked to them or said something towards them and they killed themselves?
Right.
Would you care, or would it not matter to you?
They wouldn't care.
I don't think they would. But guess what? Once you die, rest in peace under your comments. But you're the main reason why.
Right. Right. We definitely need to be more empathetic. I mean, everybody knows. Everybody has experienced a heartbreak at one time or the other. People know relationships hurt, right? Relational pain hurts worse than physical pain, and you can't get rid of it right away. Like, you can't say, okay, I'm not gonna hurt. We make some of the worst decisions in life when we're going through relational pain, right? So that is why I want to help us understand how to have healthier relationships.
Right.
And to do that, we have to understand how the man and the woman, what we're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Our thought process. And as we're having these conversations, you guys should be through these conversations and thinking about your own situations and go practical principles on how to maybe change your perspective, maybe try something different, you know, in order to have a better experience in your relationship. Jakatra said we have a culture that has turned other people's pain into entertainment. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't even speak on that.
That is true. People, it's fun. People enjoy it.
They sleep peacefully at night. While the person they're talking about crying their ass out, hurting inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's why even when stuff come out in the media about me or Falynn, I don't look at it. Because I know either I'm going to cuss their ass out, because I get ruthless. I just stay off social media. There's sometimes when me and Falynn both got to take a break from social media because it literally drains your soul.
Right.
And it puts you in a bad mood.
Right. Like I said, I didn't turn the comments off, but I turned my notifications because I could be in here working on something else, not thinking about because my last show is my last, right? What the next show is.
Right.
A comment come across my screen about the last show, and I'm like,
that's over with.
It's over.
It's over with.
It's a
all you need to do is like wait till the next one. That's all you need to say to them.
Right.
Wait till the next one.
Absolutely. So just keep that in mind, guys. People comment section.
Words hurt.
Yeah, it does. It does, especially if you're not, here. Right. So if all hearts and minds are clear, is there anything else you want to add?
Not right now, but I'm ready for part 2 whenever. We gotta come up with some more.
Shoot me a DM. I'm down whenever you want to jump on.
Okay.
Part 2. I mean, we could do it same day. We don't even need to do the formalities of getting the flyer. If it's something
we can jump on there and just go with it.
Yeah, if you want to talk, I'm all for it. I love talking about relationships now. That's where it came from. Like, this is not a job for me. If you get to know me personally, before we leave, I'm gonna know all your business about your relationship. Because that's just me. I love talking about relationships because I'm more intrigued when I see two people who are in relationships, because my mind automatically goes when I see a man and a woman maybe walking, holding. I always wonder, like, how do they get to that point? Because relationships are hard. They're hard, right?
They're very hard.
So I always wonder, like, how did they get there? I could be sitting in a restaurant, I'll see a man and a woman coming in holding hands, and I just wonder, how do they navigate the process of getting to know one another and deciding that they were going to be in relationship? Like, I'm intrigued by that.
See, what you didn't know is behind the scenes while you were on the stage, when the first 2 couples went up there, Arena and Jamie, and the other couple, I'm listening at the door because I like to, I want to hear other situations, everybody else's situation, what they went through, how did they come from that. I like to learn and use that in my own relationship or to give to somebody else. I'm always willing to learn. I'm only 23 years old. I got so much ahead of me.
That's crazy.
But guess what? When I get up there, I'm be ready. Ain't nobody to tell me nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and right there you can see Mahogany Brown. That's my mother right there, my single mother.
Really? Your mom and your biological mother?
Yeah, that was my single mother that raised me.
Okay. Hey.
She's a Taurus.
Okay. You hear your son on there? He's 23 years old. 23. And speaking all this wisdom. Very mature for his age. Jakarta said, don't allow other people's fictional comments to become the soundtrack of your reality. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. All right. Well, Jaylan, I'm going to go ahead and close it out.
All right. Thank you, guys. I had fun.